The mother and son duo were walking home from school when a car veered onto the sidewalk, hitting and killing both of them. The mother leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter.
The woman and the young boy were walking on the sidewalk of the 1600 block of Haines Street when that vehicle lost control and careened right into them.
At the wheel was a man who was apparently in the midst of a medical emergency.
Action News reporter Annie McCormick live for us now at Philadelphia Police Headquarters with the very latest on the investigation. Annie.
Yeah, and Shari and Rick, that woman and child were pronounced dead at the hospital a short time later. Now, they do believe that the driver of the striking vehicle may have lost consciousness prior to the crash. He was also taken to the hospital in stable condition. A horrific scene mid-afternoon after a woman and young boy were hit by that minivan. Witnesses say the vehicle was barreling out of control and dragged the woman and child across the roadway at 17th and Haines in West Oak Lane. The neighborhood is not far from a local elementary school. The accident happened around 3:30 near dismissal time.
I heard him hit the wall.
Contractor David Williams ran to help and called 911. After hearing the crash, he saw both victims on the ground. Then he saw the driver.
When I got out the car, I could see he was, passing out and everything, and he said, "Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?"
Police sources say the driver had a medical emergency prior to the crash and an oxygen tank in his vehicle. The driver's daughter was the passenger. At the scene, the daughter explained to witnesses what happened moments before the van jumped the curb.
He had passed out and hit the gas, and she tried to grab the wheel. She couldn't, so she jumped out the car.
Now, the accident still does remain under investigation. No charges have been filed at this time.
Surveillance video obtained by Fox 29 shows the moments before a horrific crash took the lives of 33-year-old Dominique Young L. and her son, 7-year-old Antoine Terry. You can see the pair walking on Haines Street in West Oak Lane around 3:30 in the afternoon Wednesday, when a silver van comes up quickly behind them, partially on the sidewalk. We are stopping the video before the impact.
My grandson was taken too soon. My daughter was taken too soon. My grandson was a vibrant, active young little boy.
Police say the 49-year-old driver suffered from a medical emergency before the crash. Devastated family members say Antoine normally takes the bus home from Elwood Elementary School, but his mom had to pick him up Wednesday due to a bus driver shortage. She also had plans to pick up her 11-year-old daughter from practice after, but never made it.
All on Facebook trying to find her mom and sister, brother, never knowing that they're not coming back home. This incident happened at 3:30 in the afternoon. I wasn't notified till 8:30 in the evening.
This hurts because their lives were taken from them.
I was shaken up.
Minister Terry Grant was among the first to respond to the crash after hearing it. He says he fought to have this stop sign put in on the block and complained numerous times about speeding as recently as Tuesday after witnessing a different crash.
I'm hoping somebody does something.
The Young L family hopes they learn more about what happened as they prepare a funeral for two loved ones.
I want to know the exact truth, and that's why I'm upset. My nephew, my baby, he's like my own son. I have one daughter, but that's like my son. That's my older sister. I'm the baby.
The family says the mother who died in this crash was preparing to celebrate her 34th birthday in just 2 weeks. And even though the driver stayed at the scene, they say it's not enough. Pedestrians shielding their kids, neighbors in a frenzy.
She was bawling.
After a crash caught on surveillance kills a mother and her child.
It looked as though they were close together. He was actually holding on to her from behind. That's how they ended up.
The terrifying scene happened on 17th and Haines just after 3:30 Wednesday afternoon in Philadelphia's West Oak Lane neighborhood.
He said I had to get to the emergency, the Albert Einstein Hospital emergency real fast. Safe but fast.
Relatives say the 33-year-old Dominique Young L and her 7-year-old son, Antoine Terry, died at the hospital hours apart. They were walking home from Elwood Elementary after they say a bus driver shortage forced his mother to pick him up.
They never made it home. Somebody hit them. It killed my baby.
According to police, a 49-year-old man was behind the wheel of a 2005 Mercury when it drifted onto the sidewalk. He reportedly suffered from a medical emergency.
I feel like he should not have been driving at all.
at all.
Eyewitnesses tell the family there was oxygen in his vehicle and his female passenger jumped out as it was moving.
I thank you that you stayed there. But at the same time, how can you just walk away?
So far, no arrests have been made, but this family is hoping that will soon change.
My grandson had his whole life to live. My daughter had her whole life to live.
The family members of 33-year-old Dominique Young L. and 7-year-old Antoine Terry are struggling to come to terms with the tragedy that took place on 16th and Haines Streets just after 3:30 p.m. Wednesday.
It's like a shock. It was like when the cop came here to tell me, it's like I couldn't believe it.
The mother and son duo were walking home from school when a car veered onto the sidewalk, hitting and killing both of them. The mother leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter.
I'm not coping. I cannot call her. She's not going to answer. I tried. Trust me, I tried 1,000 times. It's not going to be the same.
According to police, the 49-year-old driver was having a medical emergency.
It's like a tragedy on top of a tragedy because it's not only one person, it's two people. And not only that, you took 2 lives that still had a lot of living to live.
And the family is also pointing fingers at the school district of Philadelphia, stating if the school bus was there as scheduled, the two would have never had to walk home.
I feel like if the bus would have picked them up after school, my daughter and grandson would still be here today.
A spokesperson for the school district says they haven't been able to confirm if a bus was unavailable that day, but say they are saddened by this tragic incident.
I want justice from him and I want justice for her, for my granddaughter.